The old 7.3. The white 96 12 valve. Everybody just wants me to refer to the trucks by the color in the engine. So the white 7.3, the white 96 12 valve, and then back here with the, I don't even know what to call this. It's not really like a stack. It's not really like a, I don't even know. Anyways, the red 12 valve with the, that right there, whatever you want to call it. This freaking so loud and awesome sounding, by the way. What is up, loud and proud crowd? I hope you guys are doing absolutely fabulous on this fine, hot, extremely humid day. At least that's what it is for me here in Northeast Indiana. Absolutely disgusting out today. I mean, it's nice and sunny, but the heat is just not my friend. I do not enjoy it. So I got a couple things I'd like to do, and I wanted to get to some of the stuff yesterday. It just didn't happen because I was fiddling around with that truck's exhaust system for so stinking long, which didn't end up absolutely working anyway, so it kind of seemed like a waste, but in the same sense, it ended up coming up with something that was pretty fun. So that little thing is so amusing to me. I don't know why. It's just the funnest little thing. But basically what I want to do is construction happening over in our yard. I want to get this truck washed. I know I've said this a few times, but I need to get this truck washed. I have not washed that truck. I've neglected to wash that thing in like 3 months. I've not washed that truck. So that truck needs cleaned. This truck needs cleaned. And when I say this truck, I'm mostly referring to the frame. I need to take a pressure washer to the frame. Just needs done. Just get all the loose chips and paint and stuff like that off. But there's really not too much to actually like pressure wash off or even like sand off. I mean, it's pretty clean for the most part. So all we got to mostly do is the back half of this, but we're going to do the whole thing. Of course, yes or no, should I get like a 15-inch tip for this exhaust thing, like a chrome 15-inch chrome tip for this little stupid exhaust thing, so it like sticks up to like right here? Let me know. It would all just be for fun and for giggles. I do not care really that much, but if I got a cheap tip for that, like 20 bucks, I would seriously just go into AutoZone and get one. But grab the pressure washer and get back and get started on this stuff. Maybe even a little bit of work with the 7.5-inch light bar. I got tons of people who requested that I basically, for that light bar, since I've only got one, there's not a ton you can do with one of those, but basically a lot of people are saying I should mount it somewhere on the back of the bed here to use it as like a cargo light. So I might, not really sure if I want to drill through my bed. Yeah, I don't know for sure if or what we would do with that, but I have had a bunch of people say that I should put it right back there in the very center of the truck, directly down from my third brake light, and have it on a switch so that if I need to get in my bed of my truck in the dark, I can flip a switch and, you know, you'll have some light. So that'd be cool, but we'll see. Who knows what's gonna happen. But for now, I'm gonna go over to the property, get that pressure washer, and get back over here. So stinking hot and muggy out. Good golly. That is not my kind of weather. It is disgusting. Some people absolutely hate that bottom light bar. To be truthful, I like it. I don't mind it. If you got it, might as well use it. If we want light bars on the other trucks, we'll just buy them. They're not that expensive. Well, I went and got the old pressure washer. I got some soap in there, but initially I'm not going to use any soap just to, you know, get that frame cleaned off. But I'll use the soap on my truck. But look how dirty this is. You can see that. It's so filthy. My gosh, so dirty. Look at the dirt on my truck. Man, it's nasty. Like, that's the one thing I love about white vehicles is they at least look fairly clean no matter what, even when they're dirty. Like, my truck's filthy right now, but you take 10 steps back and you're like, man, that thing is just clean looking. Okay, now let's get this truck backed out here, and then what I want to do is, like I said, I want to take the pressure washer and I want to get to that frame first thing. So let me give you a real quick look before, let me get it all done, then I'll show you what the frame looks like after. Just some dirty stuff. I mean, it's not like this is going to transform and make it look new. It's just going to get some of the loose stuff off, but it's pretty dirty. Get the old girl fired up here and gonna try to go and see what Dad thinks of the new little, guess you could say, mini stack coming out the back of the truck there. He hadn't seen it yet. Just got in from work for a little bit. I tried to pressure wash it the best I could. Got a lot of the flaky stuff off, but watch out. I'm gonna rev it. Yes or no? Just kind of gave you a peek up by the house, I guess, with my dad already, so I'm not gonna say too much, but got most of the gunk off of here. Got that all pressure washed clean as I could get it. Got that old hose there, pressure washed pretty clean. There's a bunch of grease and gunk on there. Frame is pretty, I mean, I got pretty much all the loose stuff off there. There was just some stuff where it just couldn't chip it away, but got it pretty good. Got this as clean as I could get it too. So it looks a lot better. Got the rear axle pressure washed really nicely. There was some gunk and grime up on that. And Dad likes the exhaust. He approves of it. He thinks it's a little bit weird, but so do I. But it sounds super mean and it works. I mean, it's out the back of the cab, kind of shooting away from it a little bit. So I mean, it's a lot better than it was. And when it was cut off down under there, when that pipe came out yesterday, and it was hidden up under the cab cut off, the drone was horrible in the cab. It was awful. But with that, even just out behind the cab shooting up and away, like, the drone is not bad at all. All you hear is like a good exhaust note when you crack the window, but it's not like a horrible annoying sound. And then I got the 7.3 pressure wash down. This truck needed pressure wash. That was the first wash it's seen in about a year, I bet. Now it's gonna have some water spots because it's 95 degrees in September and it's just gonna dry on there like that, but at least I got the dirt off. This truck, same thing. I pressure washed it down pretty heavy. I didn't end up using soap, but I did get off all the dirt and stuff that was on here, so I'm good with that as long as I got the dirt off. The wheels, doesn't get my hand dirty when I do that anymore, so it's good enough for me. Now I have that 7.5-inch light bar, so I don't know exactly what I want to do with that. Maybe I'll just pull my truck in here and try to find a place I can mount her up to. I checked the weather and it's officially like 93 degrees outside. Not my heat, good golly, it's hot. But what I'm gonna do, because I had a lot of people bring up this idea, and quite frankly it's the only one that might work to be any good, is put the 7.5-inch bar, since I've only got the one, directly back and space it out perfectly even, basically straight down below the third brake light right there. And some people are saying, you know, set it up on top to where it would basically sit up on this ledge because of the back of this thing. It wouldn't be able to sit back there. Just put the pegs in like that, and they're almost the same, you know, actually almost the exact same depth as this lip there, and mount it up a little bit lower than the actual height of the bed. And a reason for that is because I'm planning on, at some point here, getting a tonneau cover for the bed of the truck. And I know some guys argue, you know, don't get tonneau covers, you know, don't do that, yada yada. But I quite frankly kind of think I want to get one, especially if I'm going to be doing driving or traveling or whatever, you know, and you know, the snow, because I am moving out soon. And the snow and the rain and all that stuff, like it'd be nice to be able to haul luggage and stuff back here and not have it get soaked or snowed on or a bunch of crap. So I might put a tonneau cover on the truck. A lot of people have been asking about the stack question. Are you still getting a stack? Do you plan on getting a stack? Yes, no. I don't know. I wanted a stack really bad. It just depends on the situation as to wherever I end up living. Just kind of varies, because like if I am going to be driving the truck a lot, a stack might not be the best thing, especially if I am going to have a tonneau cover on this. I'd have to have, you know, the thing, you know, custom made or whatever to be able to actually have a stack and not, you know, have it fried. So not sure on that, but there's a lot of things that still aren't set in stone for the truck. Like I was kind of talking to my dad, I'm trying to decide, you know, how much money I really want to sink into this truck, or all the money that I'd be sinking into this, do I want to save it for a newer truck? because he's like, I mean, do it, you know, do what you want to do. I mean, that's just the goal of it. You know, you gotta have fun and you gotta love what you're doing. But if you don't want to sink, you know, $3,000 into your tranny, you know, $2,000 into paint job and rocker repair, another, you know, $2,000 or so under the hood for upgrades and stuff on this truck, what could you do with all that cash? Could you put it down on a new truck like this truck, 20 years newer, you know, sort of thing, or just to deal with less rust and stuff? Because like that, you know, the new red Dodge, the Dodge back there, the old Dodge, the frame is super clean. My frame is not that clean. There's actually a spot somewhere in the frame where there's like a small, I mean, it's very, very small hole in the frame from rust. And thank goodness it's the only spot. I mean, me and my buddy, we checked, this is months ago, we checked the entire frame when we were under it. And there was one spot where there's one little itty bitty hole in the frame. So it's not a big deal. It's not like the entire thing was like falling apart. But it still wasn't even as clean as this one. So, you know, at the end of the day, does the engine have a lot of miles on it? It's only 218,000, no. But it's still an old truck. I just needed to decide whether or not I want to sink, you know, another 10 grand into this thing at the end of the day over the next couple months, because that's what I've been doing recently while we've been doing this truck and some other stuff and 7.3 stuff. I've been trying to save back as much money as possible, but I just haven't blown it yet because I just don't know what I want to do with the truck, to be quite honest with you. I don't really want to sell it, that's for sure, but I just don't know if I want to sink all that money into this old truck. I mean, if you look around, like here, for example, if you get it real close, this cab corner looks like, you know, within the next couple years it could rust through. So I mean, there's just, it's very clean for the age. I mean, I'll give it, you know, the body at least. You know, it still needs a lot of TLC, and you know, with that kind of money, where should I put it? Because if I put it in this truck, you know, sad to say, when I go to sell it, it's still only, you know, a $10,000 to $12,000 truck if it's in show quality condition, and that still does not solve any kind of strength issues in the frame or anything like that. That's just a good looking truck with some horsepower upgrades. But so I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Should I start to dump cash into this truck, or keep on saving back that money while, you know, for the most part working on the other trucks, and you know, just trying to really figure out what I want to do with it? Do you want to go with something newer? I was looking at a truck like this. That was a 2012. It was a long bed. It was white. It was a 2012 6.7 Cummins long bed, white, full 4-door, and I mean, the thing was 30,000, but you know what I mean, like, you could finance out for 5 years, and that's not terrible. So just really got to figure out what I want to do with it. Do I want to sink the money into this truck or not, I guess, is the moral of the story. That kind of cash. Anyways, enough talking, let's get to this. I'm probably gonna set up the camera here, probably gonna tap 2 holes in the bed there, and then I'm gonna use these metal screws because they say that these would work better, same diameter as the other bolts that came with that mounting thing, but I'm gonna use these, make a small drilled hole, and then thread it on with this to keep it in place. And then first, before I do that, make sure my wiring even reaches back here. So let's get started. Well guys, I officially got the wiring for the third light bar done. And no, this is not a light bar channel, so don't freak out. Everybody be like, oh man, all you do are light bars. No, I just happen to have some light bars and I couldn't figure out a place to put it the other day. So with some helpful comments from you guys and also some very helpful ones, I ended up getting some helpful ones, and they said to put it there. Some guys were saying set it up on top, which I would have, except for the fact that if I ever want to use a tonneau cover, it'd be nicer to have it down you know, flush with the bed. And also, you know, I can't set up there because that light bar is too wide, and so by the time you set up on top, it would have to be like tilted down forward quite a bit, and then you wouldn't really get the greatest use out of it. But it's perfectly centered back there, and it works good. I had to get some wire. We had a spool of wire and make my own wire connection from here down to about halfway back the cab, because the stock harness that came with it obviously isn't going to reach that far. It's for, you know, a light bar going to the front of the vehicle, not necessarily the rear. Sometimes you improvise and use your own wiring, which is no problem at all, super easy. But yeah, it reaches down. I gave it some slack between the bed and where I have a zip tie down there, just so, you know, if there's some bed shake and stuff, it's not super cinched tight and then it just busts the wires or something stupid. Here's the front light bars, freaking bright. And then here's the rear. Of course, it's not going to do it a lot of justice in the daytime, but that is still freaking bright, even given the fact that it's a super bright sunny day right here. It's actually hurting my eyes looking at it, so I gotta move. But yeah, I don't know if that's doing any justice, but that thing is freaking bright. You can see the light beaming on the back of the tailgate, not through the GoPro, because the GoPro does zero justice of anything, it seems like, but it's freaking bright. So cool with that. There's my switch. Just got it mounted right next to that one, so I can hit that one or that one. Got my light bar for my box. Got my 2 light bars up front. Lots of guys are saying get rid of the bottom one, but to be truthful, I'm just going to leave it there. If we want new light bars for, you know, this truck, which, and a lot of guys are saying put it on the cab. You can't put a 42-inch straight light bar on the cab of your truck. I mean, you can drill holes through the top, but it'd be stupid. You want to go with like a 54-inch curve, preferably, to do the roof of the truck. And also for this truck, it doesn't have the same bumper, so you couldn't put that straight light bar in it. It has 2 7.5-inch gaps, so I could do 2 of the 7.5-inch ones, but since I only had 1 light bar, I can't. I mean, I'm not going to put 1 light bar in half the truck and then not do on the other side right now. So I just figured I'll just do this one on my truck again. And you know, it's really cheap to just buy more light bars if we want. But quite truthfully, we might have more people just, you know, want to send them in to get their product to mention. This is, by the way, a Mick Tuning 7.5-inch light bar. In yesterday's video or the day before, can't really recall, I used, I think it was 2 days ago, I did their 42-inch curved up front. So if you guys want any of the products that you see on this truck, not even just the lighting, but I will leave the links to this light bar in the description below for you guys right towards the top, so you guys can definitely get a peep at it. Any mods from, you know, accessories in that truck, this truck, wheels, tires, I mean, whatever, check the mod list in the description below. There's links to every product purchased, and you know, give you pricing, and you can order the products right there on Amazon. So very convenient and very helpful. Guys, I'm probably gonna have to wrap up this video. It is a scorcher outside today. I've been outside all day and it's freaking hot. I'm sweating. I did about 95% of this work off camera just because it was too hot and I just didn't want to mess with it. But I'm gonna have to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a stinking thumbs up. Leave comments below if you have not yet joined the family. Subscribe, growing every single day, and would love to have you in on the journey. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Doing what I love, going day to day, but I know it takes time and I'm patiently waiting. Sometimes I contemplate, cause one day you feel so close and the next is out of sight. But I know I gotta hold on tight to go back to just going out every night. Like if I'm about to let it go now, I can live alright, live a normal life, do a 9 to 5. But I know I'm more than that. I gained this skill, wasn't born with that. At the end of the life, it's a memory.